What's up, y'all? What is up? So I was in the prayer closet, and yeah, I just had this put on my mind to talk about this. So here we go. It is the Jesus heals 10 men with leprosy. That is from Luke chapter 17, verses 11 to 19. And yeah, I was looking at a children's study page for this, and this is what came to mind when I was in prayer. And it was on the study sheet it says, Jesus heals 10, one was saved. And so the story goes, I'll just read it out loud here for continuity. So now, on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." And notice, they're all calling him Master. At least it doesn't point out that anybody wasn't calling him Master. So we can, I feel like, assume they were all calling out, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." When he saw them, he said, "Go, show yourselves to the priest." And as they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw he was healed, came back, praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him, and he was a Samaritan. Jesus asked, "Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except this foreigner?" Then he said to him, "Rise and go, your faith has made you well." And what just came to mind thinking about that was, at least the title that they had on that kid's worksheet. So all 10 were healed, one was saved. But you'd say, well, they all called him Master. We could say, like, compare this to a situation today. We all called him Master. Well, maybe the other guys were just, they were silently thanking God. It's like what God was right there. He could literally go to the physical presence and thank him. And they didn't. And how many of us do that? It's like, oh yeah, I'm thankful to God. Move on. Moving on now. But it's the guy who came and praised. I don't know if that came out clear, but the one who came back and praised God for what he had done, this is the one who is saved. And Jesus also says, "Your faith has made you well." And he always says that, your faith has made you well. And it just came to mind, I was thinking about that. It's not that the man's faith made him well, because obviously these other people were healed. These other 9 lepers were healed and made well, right? But it's that it is the faith that actually will make you well long term. It is the faith that will actually make you well in the long term, which is compelling. It's been a compelling theme that continues to come up for me, like how powerful faith really is. Because we kind of like cast it to the side. I think it's one of those overused words, faith. It's very overused, so much that we kind of forget the importance of it. So if you look at the armor of God, your armor of God, what is your shield? So the 2 most important things that you have is your faith, the shield of faith, and the sword of the Spirit. And I think we really devalue faith. Like, it's just something, my faith will be built whenever God does enough for me. Or my faith will be built, I don't know. I don't really know the instance that we're thinking of. When we think that we're going to just get a strong faith, like it's just going to happen. But it doesn't just happen. And it's a powerful weapon that you have against the devil, and the devil knows that. If the devil can constantly just get at you and you not actually have any faith, step one. That's the most important. And that's where you kind of, a lot of people, you know, they will kind of have like the fear of God put into them in a sense, like they know that God is real. It's obvious. They know that he's real. Jesus is obvious enough to know that he's real. And so they'll be like, yes, I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. I'm a believer. But are they actually saved? Are you confessing with your mouth, but your heart is far from him? And I think it could be a situation just like the 10 lepers. Like, are we thanking him for things in our life? Are we giving him praise? Or are we just kind of like, is it just kind of like a forethought and we just kind of go about our day like these other 9 lepers? It's just like, oh yeah, he just did that for me. I'm gonna just go about by my day. Or even thinking that we did it in our own accord. So I don't know. Just some thoughts, y'all. Let's love.